dagen. Pitsbos dus. Vandaag zit bij Olaf de teamgenoot van Jos Verstappen, Justin Wilson.
Vandaag voor de verandering maar eens aan de voorkant gaan zitten en niet aan de achterkant, daar waar de vrachtwagens staan. Ik ben blij dat hij er is. Very warm welcome to you, Justin Wilson. On behalf of everybody in Holland. We see a lot of you because we keep an eye on you and on Jos.
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Right,
Thank you very much for having me.
We've got a bunch of questions. You're in a nice line of people. Bernie's been next to me in a different chair, but in the same situation.
Yeah.
Michael's been there. Charlie Whiting, God. And now Justin Wilson himself. He's going to make me a star. I'll do the names in Dutch. It's easier for you.
It's probably a little bit easier. Yeah. If you go ahead and do that.
If we try the first one, how would that sound from you?
Gerard Brand is how I would say, which is not quite
Gerbrand
right.
van der Voren. So I'll stick to that then. Gerbrand, jouw vraag is al deze. Gerbrand van der Voren. He lives in Utrecht. Take the question, please.
His question is, your little brother Stefan is currently racing in karts. In your opinion, is he better than you or not? And can we expect the Wilson brothers together in F1 in the future, just like the Schumachers now?
Sounds like a motion picture, the Wilson brothers.
I think my brother's going quite well. He's still very young. He's learning in karts as I did. Who time will tell whether he's capable of moving on. I hope so. It's good for him, and it would be nice to race against him at the highest level.
What's his age now?
He's now 13.
All right. And his height?
His height is quite tall. He's over 5 foot, so he's,
all right.
He's going to be very similar height,
right.
Maybe a little bit more. Who
Runs
knows?
in the family, eh?
Yeah.
All right. I'll pick a next question, which is from Ivo Verbeek. Ivo, daar komt hij aan. Ivo lives in Andel. He says, how is it to drive next to Jos? Because he's done already 100 Grand Prix, especially here in this race. Is beating Jos one of your most important goals this year? Was there more?
There's obviously a lot more to beating Jos. I mean, it's one thing a driver is always looking to do is to beat his teammate, and Jos is trying to beat me and I'm trying to beat him. It's what drives us both on.
Yeah.
We're not always competitive against everybody else. We hope that we can be, but we just try and compete against each other and hope that that'll drive us close enough to beat the other cars as well. And our aim is to try and score points this season.
Yeah, very important. After Canada, he gave you a nice compliment on TV straight after the race when Jack interviewed him. He said, well, I must say, Justin, it's a pity the car broke down, but up till that point, you were really giving him a hard time, and he enjoyed it. Yeah. So did you, I think?
Yeah, it's a good race. I enjoyed it. We had a very close battle in the first lap. Just through one of the chicanes, I went round the outside of Jos and gave me the inside for the next corner. Jos said that we nearly touched wheels. I thought we did, but you know, we don't want to get too close in that situation. We want to keep both cars on the track.
Hey, the old Formula 4 trick is put some oil on the outside of your wheel so you can wheel bang once, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, next one we go to Wouter Nagel. Wouter lives in Haren. And it's also, of course, the Dutch also want to do some comparison stuff with Jos.
Yeah, this question is, Jos is known for one of the best starters in Formula 1.
Yeah.
This season you regularly outstart Jos. Is this because you're an even better starter, or is it because Jos has been more careful than he was in the past?
He's just getting old, is he?
Yeah, maybe.
Old man.
I think Jos is very good, and you can see he's attacking hard in the first few laps. He's overtaking people. And we both tend to move up the order. It's always difficult to know why that is. I mean, I obviously believe I do a good job, and I've always been fairly good at the first few laps, but yeah.
Sometimes it's also the luck of the pick. If you pick the right line, and on the inside there's hassle, you can run around the outside.
Exactly. And
Malaysia, I guess. Yeah, Malaysia, that was the case.
And also, we've got less to lose being at the back, so we can afford to take that risk around the outside. And I think we're not taking big risks. We're quite sensible with what we do, but some of the other guys are maybe know it's a long race and they've got a competitive car, so maybe they're hanging back. So. Yeah. But I like to think I'm doing a good job, and
it's okay. Very good.
We'll see what happens.
If we look back at Spain, how quick must you be to avoid, at that point, Pizzonia? Because that was sort of, I mean, on TV it looks different, but I mean, is there a whoops moment in there, or it's just?
No, it's just instant. You got to react. You got to steer the car, and it's only once you're alongside you think, wow, that's close.
Yeah. And you went left, and Kimi went right, and head on.
Yeah. It's surprising. You don't feel as if you're accelerating that quick for the first 3 or 4 seconds in a Formula 1 car, because you got so much power, you're trying to put the power down on the track, and you can't do that.
No.
So it feels like it's a very slow start until you've got somebody stopped in front of you, and then it's a little bit hairy.
Yeah, very good. Marco van der Veld lives in Maarsen, which is about 2.5 k's away from where I live. And his question is, who designed your helmet? Did you do it yourself, or did someone else do it? Why did you choose for the actual design? Because he kind of likes it.
Yeah, it's nice that he likes it. It's a design I've had since I was 12 years old now.
Where did it come from?
It came from a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine who I was racing with. His father is an artist, and myself and my friend were just drawing different designs on our helmets because we're wanting to get one painted up.
It's very, very important to have a nice painted helmet when you're 13.
Yeah, it's a big deal back
Makes
then.
you go quicker.
Yeah. His father came in and saw what we were doing and looked over our shoulders and went away and came back in about half an hour's time, and he got 3 designs and said, which one do you like? And I pointed out this one.
Yeah.
I mean, he asked me actually before that what elements I liked of other drivers. I like just something different and lots of colour, and also the shape of it. I like the strip that Gerhard Berger had on his helmets. The band that goes from the visor around with his flag on the side. And
that's good.
Most of it is based on that.
Would you ever change it in favour of a sponsor? If a sponsor said, I would like to sponsor you for X amount of millions, but you have to wear an orange helmet, and then what?
Oh, you'd obviously see what the situation was. I'd prefer not to, but if that's what they require, then you'd have to look at it.
In that case, money talks.
Money does talk. It goes a long way in Formula 1.
All right, we go to a girl in Veendam, Aniek de Vries. And Aniek is doing this question. That'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Hey, cut it out. Kidding. That's how things go. Moest even de jongens even een beetje tot orde roepen natuurlijk. It's a good one, this. Aniek. Question.
Do you think it's an advantage to start your career in a small team, or do you think it would have been better to start with a top team?
You never know.
You never know. Different circumstances. If you end up with a top team straight away, then fair enough. But personally, I've enjoyed my time with Minardi. It's been very good. Learned a lot. And you get to progress on. There's less pressure when you're trying to learn, and I think that's a good thing in a way. Having not experienced driving with a top Formula 1 team yet, I can't compare. I can only tell what my situation is.
Yeah. And you feel comfortable at the point?
Yeah. It's a very good team to start your career off in, I believe.
Yeah, I can understand that. We go to the next question, my third. I do this shortly in Dutch. It's the question of the week. Een ontzettend veel gestelde vraag. We hebben er even één uitgepikt. Wim Raamakers uit Bussum. His question is, Wim, jij krijgt bij deze race report vanaf aanstaande woensdag op je deurmat. Gefeliciteerd daarmee. Question, what do you think about the hand system? In the beginning of the season, we've seen that. You had huge problems with it. Do you agree now that it's okay? Or do you say, well, basically it's not really important?
I think the hand system is very good. The idea behind it is excellent. The principle is good. I think it's taken this year to get the finer details sorted out because it's quite obvious that every driver is a different shape and size.
You need a personal hand system.
You do. You wear personalised overalls. We don't all fit in the same size overalls, so it needs to be adapted. And
my overall wouldn't be a problem for you. I mean, the length.
Be okay.
Forget about it. But I understand. But you had a big problem with that in the beginning.
Yeah.
You were allowed to change some stuff on it?
Well, what we did, the shape of it wasn't too bad. It's just my belts were slipping off the sides because the belt's not positioned on the hand system that well. So we incorporated a twin belt system. So the first belt comes over my shoulders and straps me into the car as any other race car.
Yeah.
Then I put the hand system on, and then I put a second belt over. So it holds the hands in place. It still does its job, and yet I'm held in by the first belt. Makes me feel much more secure.
Very good. And important. Roger Thomassen. You could have done that one. You go for this one, eh?
Rotterdam, is that?
Yeah, Rotterdam. Final Rotterdam.
Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, very good. Good question as well.
You have raced in both Formula 3000 and the Superfund World Series by Nissan. What do you think is the best feeder formula? Should the FA promote the World Series instead of Formula 3000 to become the new Formula 2.
And this one's good as well, eh? Kick ass
Kick
at
ass,
the ring.
yeah, I'll try.
That's Holland.
As he says, I've driven both championships, and I believe they both have very good points. They both have things that don't work so well in their favour, but the main thing is that you learn a lot from doing both.
Yeah.
I mean, what I learnt in 3000 is helping me now in F1.
Yeah,
as
circuits.
As driving the Nissan car has helped me, so it's, you know, I wouldn't like to choose between them, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
And you won races in both categories. You won a championship in Formula 3000.
Yeah, but like this person's stating out, you know, it's very important for the feeder formula to support a Formula 1 race.
Yeah.
Whichever that turns out to be, I think it's very important. It's here, it sees what's happening in Formula 1, and I mean, I personally feel as if I've been well prepared, because those years in 3000 I got to watch and learn, and you just see how you're treated in Formula 1 and what it's like, so it's not too much of a big deal when you get there.
All right, time's up. Next year we're going to take a half an hour for this, because we want to ask way more things, but that'll happen over the season. I hope you do well here.
Thank you very much.
Keep the car on the track.
I'll try.
Be quick, as quick as you can. 0.02 of a second less than our Dutch guy, because we're still a bit nationalist. Dutch nationalist pigs, that's what we are.
I'll try and keep him honest.
All right, we keep an eye on you. Thank you very much. I talk shortly in Dutch. Tot zover voor deze week met Justin Wilson. Heb je voor de volgende Grand Prix, die is wel al volgende week, de grote prijs van Frankrijk. Je vragen, surf naar onze site en stel ze dan aan deze man.